The engineering pathway is a little bit of everything engineering. We focus on an introductory class that gets students into engineering and get them into that problem-solving mindset so they can take those skills and apply them to anything. One of the great parts about being in CTE is we have amazing equipment that we get to use with the students. One of the big things is having a virtual reality welder.
Your travel angle is perfect.
Oh, 100%. And work angle? Okay.
I think the machine actually helps because it gives you a real feel for what it's going to be like on the welder, especially with the feed coming out.
Yeah, and on the real welder, when you're up close onto the part, you can feel the feed coming out and it giving you the feedback so you can feel how close or far you are away from the part you're welding.
There's a lot of students that are intimidated by a lot of the big machinery, or they see a lot of sparks, or they see a lot of these big things happening and they get intimidated to work on those machines. They get a little nervous at first. The VR welder is a great way for students to learn the technique, learn how to set up the machines, learn the safety behind the machines before actually going onto the real machine in real life. One of the other great parts about the engineering pathway is that we get to utilize our robotic cell, our automation cell here. One of the things that we're working on right now is we're working with the art department to try to create some sort of drawing with the robot. And one of the big things that we have to do first is we need to teach the robot how to write.
So the way this program was made was by going to each point and then charting it and then having it go from dot to dot. So it's more like a connect the dots puzzle. Using that connect the dots mentality, I was able to write DGHS and then have it erase that right afterwards and then do that in a continuous loop. So another benefit to having this robot is that you don't just have to code it. You can also do free form movements with a controller. You can use your arm movements to program it furthermore. I think this robot is an incredible experience because it gives us practical experience in what we're learning. Most classes, they teach you theoretical things, the formulas, the equations, but in the engineering pathway, we get to do hands-on kinds of things. We wouldn't get this opportunity elsewhere, but the ability to use the robotic arm really gives me an experience of what the real-world job applications would be like.
One of the objects that I designed and 3D printed was something that can hold the eraser on the robot, so it had a place to screw it in and then it was able to hold the eraser in place without falling out. The main programs that I used to design all these parts are called Inventor and Fusion 360, and the way they work is the programs are called CAD, which is computer aided design, and I create sketches and then you extrude them or revolve them and you're able to turn your vision into something 3D. Here's another one that I made with one of my friends. It's a flower and I actually have it 3D printed. And we were able to print it with 2 different colors on the 3D printer. This fall I'm going to be going to Princeton to study environmental engineering, and one of the big reasons that I was able to get into Princeton is because I had all these resources available to me to really discover my passion for engineering. I was able to start an engineering club and work with the 3D printers and robots to do really interesting activities, and I plan on carrying this passion that I developed over into college and my future.
The great impact about all this machinery and the pathway that we have here is that students get this experience before they get into college. We've actually had some graduates come back and say, hey, Mr. Tschammer, thank you very much for teaching me and allowing me to use this machinery and this equipment, because it's gotten them internships. It's put them a step above other students because they already have the understanding of these machines and this equipment. It merges both worlds of understanding the theory behind engineering and the actual physical side of engineering. A great part about all this machinery is seeing what the students can create. The students have way more ideas than I do about a lot of this equipment, and the bright innovations that they bring to the class every day is absolutely amazing.